Okay, let's have a slightly humorous yet very detailed discussion on quantum quackery or insanity. How to easily destroy anybody that is in this cult of atomism. That's what it is. I mean, it's not like a literal cult where they're, sacrificing animals in the basement or something, but I mean, it is a cult. And it's not a conspiracy either. It's just like a well-grown insanity. And if it were the case, which it is the case, that Mother Nature is divinely simplex, not simple, but simplex, these idiots could not get grants to fund the rest of their life to build particle colliders looking for imaginary unicorn farts and fairy dust. And we're going to look for the Higgs boson particle. If you would only give us $10 billion and a Large Hadron Collider, and we need a magnetron array, and I need 10 more years of funding, and it's going to take 20 more years to build, and by the time it gets done, I'll be able to retire comfortably. This notion that, papers are for dogs. I mean, I spent 7 years in college. Some of these idiots think that, this fat, bald, tattooed dude, is some sort of plebeian or pedestrian intellectually. Well, I'm not. Chess champion in high school and college. Took college courses early, but that's intellect. And intellect isn't wisdom. Wisdom and actual genius are things that you're never going to get in high school or college. I mean, any idiot can go to college and get a degree. All they have to do is, drink enough caffeine and pass enough tests, and at the end they write a dissertation and get a PhD. I mean, for God's sakes, doctors kill more people every year than cancer. They've all got a degree hanging on the wall behind their freaking, hubristic heads. Like, hey, he's a doctor. He graduated from, so-and-so place. I'm going to listen to him. People do trust doctors a lot less now. It used to be the case. It's like, okay, doctor, you want me to take poison and die next week just because you can run an experiment? I'll do it. I mean, it really, really, really... Now, while humanity is de-evolving, one of the good things that has changed is that all these medical schools are spitting out so many stupid-ass doctors that are just killing people left and right. Like recently, you think, well, the rich people get good doctors, and of course they do, but, take an example like Avril Lavigne. She had Lyme's disease, and she went to some of these best, high-priced doctors, and they said it was in her head, or... maybe she was like a menstruating a psychopath or something. I mean, she was freaking crying going from doctor to doctor. And, this is a multi-millionaire. I mean, she could afford anybody. She finally found someone that had 2 brain cells that said, hey, hey girl, you got Lyme disease. And, of course, she's now in recovery. That makes you feel better that not everybody gets shit medical care. The point being is that these degrees, well, what's your degree, and is your crap peer-reviewed? I mean, they'll pull any sort of trick in the world on you to dodge a discussion about quantum mechanics, and they're intellectually fraudulent. They can't have a discussion. I'm going to tell you a really, really quick way to destroy these people. And I've been debating various topics for many years, and various topics like ancient Prakrit, Platonic ontology, metaphysics, Indian monism, and a lot of other very abstruse topics that no one else would really ever study. But these people are insane. I mean, they think that, if someone wrote a book and they have a PhD or a degree, that means something, and it doesn't mean anything. All it means is they passed the X number of tests, and they've agreed with the idiots that came before them, and they got the stamp of approval that this idiot agrees with my stupid crap that I wrote, and he wrote a dissertation agreeing with me. It's just a circle jerk of morons that are ass-kissing each other. I mean, that's really what sophistry is. I mean, it's intellectual heresy. I mean, that's what colleges are about. They're not about... I think my buddy said that college produces a lot of well-educated idiots, and that's really a very accurate statement. And also the case that those who can't teach, but a way to keep yourself employed is to, look for imaginary unicorn particles and, pixie farts, and this is what quantum is based on. So how do you destroy these morons? Now, I made some videos recently on quantum mechanics, and they're bear traps, they're honeypots. There's the one where the Indians and in actual India, would actually stick some like honey butter in a tree with a small hole, and the monkey would stick his hand in and he'd grab it, but he couldn't get his hand out. He could if he let go of it, but he'll never let go of it. So that traps the monkey in the tree. It's like if the dumb monkey let go of the honey ball, he could free himself, but they capture him and they fry his ass up, and that's the end of the monkey. And I set out these honey traps, and once in a while someone springs the bear trap or the honey hole. And so I've had some comments recently. Someone said that, well, quantum mechanics does define fields, which of course it never does define a field anywhere. That's only a claim. You're going to make a claim, you got to back it up. Matter is a propagation of, of waves and fields, and they'll actually throw around BS terminology like quantum entanglement when as an answer for instantaneous action at a distance, which refutes all of quantum. What is quantum entanglement? Before we get to the fields, let's talk about the BS phraseology these idiots throw around. Like quantum entanglement. There's a movie, I can't remember, it's Fletch, played by Chevy Chase, where he makes up this stuff. He plays the mechanic. He plays an airplane mechanic. Fletch does. He puts in these redneck buck teeth, and they ask him what's wrong with the plane. He's pretending to be an airplane mechanic, and I forget what he says. He says something like, your wangle rod is hooked around your schnitzel drive, or, You've heard people make up crap like, this insane crap to explain stuff, and it's just complete flatus escaping, at the back of their arsehole. Your wankin' doodle is been cross-threaded onto your schnitzfritzel, or you hear people say this crazy crap. All you have to do is stick the word quantum in front of another word, and that's an explanation to these idiots. I mean, that's not even a description, much less an explanation. This is quantum entanglement, and that's quantum tunneling, and that's quantum duality. This crap doesn't even mean anything. It doesn't even have descriptions. And you can never draw it out, much less denotate what it is. I mean, it has no basis in reality whatsoever. These people make this shit up. I mean, they blow it out their backside like smoke, and they get PhDs for writing articles on this crap. But how do you destroy these people? And it's really, really easy to destroy them. And of course, they do believe in all these idiots that have PhDs. I mean, where did Plato get his PhD, or Shakespeare, or Pythagoras? Genius and genuine wisdom can never be taught in college. I mean, this is where you become a well-educated idiot with a degree. Like I said, doctors kill more people every year than cancer. And that's a damn fact. All you have to do, they'll constantly talk about waves and quantum and fields, but they'll never be able to denote those because everything is fields and fields are not particles. So all you have to do is just say, waves of what? First you attack them by acting like a stupid child. Just say, you keep talking about waves, but waves of what? Fields are not waves. There's no quantity. There's no phenomena. There's no matter there. However, either denotation or connotation, there's no matter there. When you talk about waves, like, look at the waves out in the ocean, honey, and it's like a dry seabed. There's some. It's like, wait, you mean that ocean like dried up millions of years ago during the Cretaceous period, honey? Waves of what? Yeah, the waves out there. Waves of what? Yeah, it's the waves. Waves of what? Fields are not part of. There's nothing in a field to say something is waving. Well, what's waving? To say that something is waving, you have to say what that something is in principle, and they can never do it. That's all. That's the honeypot. One of the honeypots will always stick their hand in, so they'll use the word wave, and that's where you proverbially stomp on their necks because you cut them off right there, like boom. Let's talk about waves. Waves of what? Wah. They'll never have an answer because they're idiots. They're stupid. They don't even process the flatus that actually pours out of their backside that they spit out to you. Your Frankenwagnall is hooked to your schnitzel drive. Yeah, give me a break with that BS, okay? Fields. Fields cannot be quantized. Quantity, phenomena, matter, quantum. Fields have no matter in them. They can't be quantized. Everything is fields, and fields are particle-free. And then they'll talk about energy, which is fine. Let them go down the path of energy discussion. Okay, energy. Let's define energy. Electrical, electrostatics, i.e. dielectrics. Gravitational, magnetic, okay, energy. Okay, we talk about the electromotive force. Okay, let's talk about the electromotive force. Let's quantize that. You can't. You can't. You can't quantize it at all. So what are they going to be talking about? They're actually talking about regions of influence over a given time period. There is a change. The dynamic of change given a metric of space over a given period of time. And that is what they'll define energy as. But that's an abstraction. That's not even a description. That's not an explanation. It is a change measured over a given metric of space over a certain period of time. And of course, space is correlational. Space cannot be reified. You can't reify space because space is absence. That's like talking about a shadow. And you say, well, someone died because they were naked, and instead of being out in the sunlight, they were in the shadow of a building, and so the shadow caused them to die. No, asshole. A shadow is a privation of the light. You cannot reify a shadow. That's like reifying a unicorn or a snake, because the ancient Indians and Greeks perfected this sort of thinking methodology ages ago, thousands of years ago, the ancient rope snake analogy of India. Because back then there are no remedies. If you get bit by a snake, your ass is dead 99% of the time. You're going to die. And when people go out in the woods to take a crap or a piss in India, in the olden days, you got bit by a snake, you know, you got an hour or 2 or 3 or whatever, and you're going to die. And so people would sometimes have heart attacks. So they're old, they'd see a twig or something, and they go, ha! They get startled, and they die from something that wasn't there. So they talk about the rope snake analogy. Like, it was a piece of rope. Okay? They mistook it for a snake, but it killed their ass. But what killed them didn't actually exist. So to speak of space is the exact same thing. Space is an absence of inertia. But anyway, getting back to fields. These people try to quantize fields. Like, well, okay, all you have to do is give me a denotation of the word field. They'll never do it. They can't. You can't give someone, it's like, look, here, listen, bitch. Here is $1 million in cash. All you have to do is give me a denotation of the term field. Not a connotation, not its influence over a given metric over a certain span of time, but you have to give me a denotation of the term field. They'll never win the $1 million. Never. So, I mean, that's the real honeypot that they'll always fall into. Sometimes they usually dodge it because they know they can never do it. A lot of times they'll dodge it and they'll get around it and they'll start bullshitting you. You never learn. It's like, let's get back to the word field. Define field. You can't talk about any of this stuff until you define the word field. They'll stutter, they'll stammer, they'll scratch their sack. I mean, you know, they might fart a little bit and count the holes. And they'll never define the word field. Never. Because it has no quantity. And this is what quantum is. Quantum. Quantity, i.e. materialism, i.e. atomism, i.e. phenomenalism. Everything is fields, and fields are not particles, and it is outside the realm of their comprehension. To them, this is literally like discussing God. I don't care if you believe in God or not. This is analogously the exact same thing as talking about, you know, they'll never deny. This is a case when you talk about quantum where God exists. I'm not talking about literally God. This is a case where God exists. Like both my side and the side of these quantum assholes, God exists. Like he agrees that God exists and I do. But we're talking about fields here, okay? But this person can never define it. Kind of like, you know, how are you gonna show me something that isn't there? Like, oh, you show me God. You know, that's a discussion between a creationist and atheist. But here we're talking about two people that are, you know, me and the moron over here, the quantum asshole, that both agree that fields exist. Now, in this case, God. And I know what the hell a field is, and of course I'm writing a book on it. But these guys also admit to what a field is, but they can never tell you anything about it. Because fields have no quantity. They're outside the sphere of quantum. But they'll throw around bullshit to you, like quantum entanglement. Your friggin' world is bound up to your rankin' crankle. You know, it's quantum entanglement. It's quantum obscurity. It's quantum duality. It's quantum. All I have to do is just throw the word quantum in front of anything, and it becomes, oh yeah, that's deep crap, man. That's PhD work right there, you know. I think I saw an article about that in Scientific American last week, which you probably did, by the way. So tripping these people up, I know how to destroy every one of them. You know, I love, I would love for someone to fly me out, to a seminar with some of the best quantum physicists on Earth. I would destroy, I would sit there like a lion. I would destroy every one of them. I would destroy them. I would make them look like fools. Just put me in a room with these people and film it. Just film it. Put me in a room with these people and lock the doors so they can't run out. I'll sit there until I freaking pass out from heat or, deprivate. I'll destroy them. Just do that. Please, I wish someone would do that. It's never going to happen, though, of course. But Mother Nature has no dualities, and they talk about quantum duality and quantum entanglement. Term duality only applies to things that humans are ignorant of, as pertains nature. Dualities, here's something you should remember at the end of this video. Dualities don't exist in nature. Mother Nature has no duality. The actual definition of duality is something that stupid-ass humans do not understand. Well, that's a wave-particle duality. Yeah. No, it's not. Dualities don't exist. And then I could get on to other topics about how to destroy them, like instantaneous action at a distance, since nothing propagates, according to them, faster than the speed of light. Now, light has no speed. The speed of light is actually a rate of induction. It is not a speed. But according to them, nothing goes faster than the speed of light, which is not true at all. Longitudinal, non-transverse field propagation occurs much, much faster than the speed of light. I got other ways to destroy them, like instantaneous action at a distance and QRT. It's easy to destroy them. So I know all their tricks. And I wish to God someone would stick me in a room full of these people. It'd be so fun to discuss, to have a debate with them, because I'd just proverbially rip their heads right off. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.